This story is introduced in a framing narrative where two men, graduates of private schools in England, wax nostalgic about their time at school. Eventually, their conversation turns to the peculiar folklore that all private schools seem to generate and propagate. They conclude that most of these stories are adapted versions of popular magazine fiction. They specifically remember several versions of an urban legend where a brave man accepts a dare to spend the night in a supposedly haunted room, only to be found crouching in the corner, expiring from fear, with the last words, "I've seen it," before writing it off as plagiarized from a fictional treatment of the famous haunted house at Berkeley Square, which, Rhoda Broughton's, nothing but the truth. They go on to recall tales of ghostly footprints, a man found dead in his bed with a hoofprint on his forehead and under his bed, a boy who, to find someone crawling towards him on all fours with its eye hanging out on its cheek, and a woman who was terrified when, after locking her bedroom door, she heard a thin voice whisper to her, "Now we reshut in for the night." The narrator, however, one of the two men, admits that he knows of one such story that was not plagiarized from a magazine thriller, a story from his own boyhood. 30 years earlier, while he was attending a boarding school outside of London, he recalls the strange story of his Latin teacher, G.W. Sampson. Sampson was a boisterous, likable fellow who loved to share stories of his enigmatic and adventurous travels. The narrator specifically remembers how he used to wear a Byzantine coin on his watch chain, one with a portrait of the emperor on one side and the words GWS. 24 July 1865, carved onto the reverse. It was exotic and fascinating, but he never shared the story behind it with his students, leading to much speculation. One day, Sampson had his students work on a lesson where they are to write an original Latin sentence using the verb mamini, meaning to remember. The narrator's close friend, MacLeod, spends a great deal of time pondering his response, only scribbling something at the very last moment. While reading the papers, MacLeod appears to concern Sampson, who asks to spare with him after class. When the narrator asks what the problem was, MacLeod tells them that he was not able to think of something until the words "memento patei inter quater tactus," remember the word among the two new tricks, spontaneously formed in his mind, along with a mental image of this place. He did not even remember what tactus meant in English, only that it was a tree, but by describing them to his friends, they confirmed that he must be describing the yew tree, a popular choice for cemeteries. Sampson was troubled by this sentence and had asked MacLeod where he got the idea, but dismissed him after asking where his family came from and learning, with some relief, that he was Scottish. Later, Sampson assigns his students to create a conditional sentence that comes with a future consequence. While reading this, he suddenly makes a gagging sound and rushes out of the room. Curious, the boy examines the papers on his desk. The top one says, "Essay to non veneris ad me, ego veniam ad te," meaning, "If you don't come to me, I'll come to you." Naturally, MacLeod is suspected, but he affirms that the paper is not his, and indeed it is written in a strange red ink none of them use, and in an already handwriting. Counting the papers, the boy also notes that, although there are 16 in the class, there are 17 papers. The narrator keeps the paper, and when Sampson returns, he is relieved to find it missing, presumably thinking that he has imagined it. 3 days go by, and on the third night MacLeod wakes the narrator up in a terror. He is certain that someone is trying to break into the school, specifically into Sampson's quarters, which the boy can see from their window. The two boys are overwhelmed with a strange feeling of foreboding, and go to the casement to investigate, grateful for each other's company. Looking out of their window, they see nothing. The narrator is tempted to berate MacLeod, but Noting his own rattled nervous, asks him what made him think Sampson's room was being invaded. We were still at the window looking out, and as soon as I cloud, I asked him what he had heard or seen. I did not hear anything at all, he said, but about 5 minutes before I woke you, I found myself looking out of this window here, and there was a man sitting or kneeling on Sampson's windowsill and looking in, and I thought he was beckoning. What sort of man? MacLeod wriggled. I don't know, he said, but I can tell you one thing, he was beastly thin, and he looked as if he was wet all over. And, he said, looking down and whispering as if he hardly liked to hear himself. I am not at all certain that he was that way. The narrator's story practically ends there. BCL the next morning Sampson was missing and never seen again, without any further sequel or resolution. Indeed, the narrator notes that this is the first time that he has ever shared this story, and that he and MacLeod never discussed it again. But a sort of sequel does come to the reader. One Hick, James Warnes, may perhaps be reckoned highly conventional. A third man has been eavesdropping on them from across the room, and finds it difficult to forget. Later that year, he is invited to a old manor house in Ireland, not Scotland, where his host remembers his antiquarian tasks. Hoping to show him something curious, he digs through a drawer and hands him a gold coin on a chain. He has a strange story behind it. Apparently, a few years ago, he was having a disused well cleaned out on his property, one nestled in a thicket of yew trees. Had the visitor nervously asked, "Is it possible that you found a body?" To which his host replies, "We did that, but what is more, in every sense of the word, we found two skeletons were discovered in the bottom of the shaft." He seemed to suggest a bad business. It troubled the host so deeply that he had the well filled in after all. He recalls how one of the skeletons had its arms tied round the other, and how amongst the rags of clothing they found the coin that had just been handed to the visitor. It has a faded inscription. He asks his guest to try to read. Without much effort he makes out the words, G.W.S. 24 জুলাই 1865